be honest. Like you can actually try to leverage things as far as like the detection ranges. The torpedo is way too slow to catch up. I should have saved them, but maybe. I don't have torpedoes yet. Nope. Just gotta ride. I'm pretty much toast at this point. Oh, got torps though, so I might have not given enough lead time. Actually, that was a viable solution. Okay, not bad. Um, we will sit here for this this remaining battleship to go down. I want to look at the stats for this round. So it just take a little bit more. Then we'll go and we'll read a bit more from the journal and we'll call it a wrap for this morning. I thought about uh, getting Geezer to read the journal for me, but I decided to take a pass and go with this mix and match format instead. Yeah, you never know until you try. You shouldn't be afraid to try things. So even in failure, there tends to be some benefit in gaining more knowledge or wisdom. Okay. We didn't get 1,000 SP, but that's okay. Let's go to the port and see if we have any containers that we can open. We have 3, and we've earned one of the daily containers. So let's pick it up. And we tried for containers that have more coal, since we use the coal to acquire new ships. Okay, we have 4 containers in all, so we're just going to open all containers, all 4. One is a Twitch container, by the way. Twitch container probably gave us the 100 community tokens. So we're going to close. And we're going to finish off the stream by going and reading more entries from our cruise journal from 25 years ago. Okay, just sit back and we'll just read a few more entries. It's way too many entries to probably get it done today. So we'll finish the journal reading probably later on today and tonight. Okay. Okay, this is Wednesday morning. Wednesday was an at-sea day unless you were a very strong and fast swimmer. It was a pretty uneventful day. The pillow fights were amusing, but the high point was at dinner. Mary and Linda told about seeing a hammered woman, au naturel, in the corridors the previous night. Linda claimed to have photographed her butt, not her own, but the clothing challenged lady. Maybe she did photograph her own and made this story up. With Linda, you never really know. The after dinner show was pretty good. A guy balanced stuff on his head and on a stick stuck in his mouth. A woman named Tia did vocal stylings. It was sort of like Aretha Franklin and Don Rickles had a love child. I see you, Kels. The wife liked her so much that we went to the adult-only midnight show. Most of that routine was based on Tia's bosom. Went to the midnight buffet. It was pathetic. We ate a little of the crappy fare and went to bed. P.S. I almost forgot. I got into a dessert eating contest with Matal at dinner. I won by a scoop of ice cream. Okay, we're gonna read Thursday's entry, and we'll call it. I'll call it there. Okay, this is Thursday. We made it to the Grand Caymans today. Even though I'm writing this, I was a little apprehensive about finding Captain Marvin's for our excursion, but it was no problem, Mon. We were carried from the pier to the captain's shop, where we forked over $70. We were then taken to our boat called the Oh Boy. There were 33 people on board, but it was not cramped. The boat skipper was the original Captain Marvin's son. It was a beautiful day with lots of sun and little humidity. Our first stop was to do some snorkeling in about 15 feet. I showed a great interest in procuring a life vest. Donning my new best friend, I called him my bestie vestie, flippers, snorkel, and mask, I gingerly entered the water. I am a big toe first kind of guy. Swimming was, is, would never be my forte. So I was a bit leery of this man from Atlantis business. But after a little initial frantic splashing, I got the physics down, was able to relax, relate, and release. I was snorkeling. Did I mention that I was blind doing all this? My vision enhancers were back at the boat. I had my handy dandy underwater disposal Kodak, so I just snapped a picture of any blurry underwater thing that seemed to be moving. Hopefully, I can get to see what was really going down after the film gets developed. At about this time, a violent commotion was taking place at the boat. My first thought was that it must be that the boat must be under assault by pirates. But with some industrial strength squinting, I was able to discern that my wife was fighting with the captain and his mate. So I hastened to the boat to save the crew of the old boy. Apparently, the wife had changed her mind about wanting to swim with the fishes. Unfortunately, this change of heart occurred after she was already in the water. The combination of not being able to see, not being able to touch the bottom, either offended or impaired her sensibilities. She was trying to climb back aboard the ship, but the crew was trying to coax her back into the water and were impeding her progress. They did not know how close they were to experiencing some serious drama. I, with measured tones, implored them to let that woman aboard if that is what she wanted, which they did without loss of their life or limb. I went back to photographing who knows what. After a while, we all piled on the ship and went to the next stop. This was for some quick snorkeling along the coral. I was all snorkeled out at this point and stayed on the boat with the wife. The third stop was at Stingray City. We were told that the water was shallow enough to stand up in with no problem. Being the risk intolerant soul that I am, I insisted on holding on to my bestie vestie. The wife had no intention of leaving that boat again until it was docked. What we were not told